3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hunters Hub. This is your host, Fortwine, joined by my co-host, Sasha. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty great. How are you?
Good. Crazy Thanksgiving turkey week.
Yes.
We had an interesting experience yesterday of my my ex sister-in-law visiting to see the kids because she wouldn't be able to see them for Christmas because she'd be in Mexico visiting her husband's family. So she was like, "Hey, can we stop by and hang out with the kids?" I was like, "Sure." And that was it was interesting hanging out with your ex-wife's sister for a while. But it was good. It was good. We're still good. We're still friends, so it works out. But yeah, it was fun. Tonight we're doing a family episode. So my brother Chance, also known as Darth Tater, who does Event Quest with me, is here. He's just waving for now.
Ooh.
And Charles, Sasha's brother, is joining us tonight as well.
Hello, everyone. This is my first podcast experience ever, so I'm pretty excited. I've listened to a few of you guys' episodes after Sasha joined.
Okay.
Good stuff, so I'm excited.
Awesome. So just to explain a little bit, if it's your first time listening to the show, we are a video game podcast that I say is born of the Monster Hunter community. We just started in Monster Hunter, and we've diversified since, especially with Sasha coming on. We're getting into Xbox and stuff we haven't got into before. So I enjoy talking about games and stuff. So tonight we're going to talk about gaming with family, specifically co-op and that kind of stuff, because we've all co-op together, and family, Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, all that stuff. So that's what we're doing tonight. So how often did you guys get to play together growing up? Was it like all the time, or was it
all the time?
Yeah, and I mean, I will say Charles and I were not particularly good teenagers, and we were skipping school all the time to play video games as well.
She was a senior when I was a freshman, so I kind of caught that senioritis as a freshman in high school.
Wow. That is really early to catch that.
Yeah.
Like was a really bad influence on me.
It was me.
I made it that far, right?
Wow.
Like my first memories, even just being a little kid, were playing like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Sega Genesis growing up, was like our first system. And then we got a Sony PlayStation. What year was that? Like maybe the year
we got it the year it came out, and it was a big deal because we grew up poor. So I know our parents saved for that, and that was pretty much the only thing we got that year. But we, didn't care. We got that in a demo disc.
Yeah, just the demo disc. We didn't.
And I think we got Crash Bandicoot.
Yes, and Twisted Metal.
Yep. So
Twisted Metal was a fun one. I played that more with friends than with Chance.
Yeah, we pretty much played together for as long as Charles could hold a controller, I think. I remember playing Sega as early as Sega, playing that Batman and Robin game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Charles had to be Batman, and I had to be Robin. And then if I did better than him, we would have to restart the game because Robin can't be better than Batman.
Sasha's
it's
like
non-canon.
2.5 years older than me. So I was like 2, maybe 3 when this was happening.
In your defense, yes.
Yes. Now, I've gathered that you guys were more like Nintendo kids. Like play with Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah, we did have a Sega. But like the Sega, it existed. It was there. We maybe played Sonic once in a while. I think I ended up playing it. I was much more of a gamer than Chauncey was growing up. Partially because I hogged the system, and the other part is he likes to do other things as well. But he was definitely pointing me out for hogging the system. Yeah, I totally did that, yes. But we did play a lot of Super Nintendo stuff together. I remember we used to have like a Star Time Video, which was like a movie rental place. so my parents would always rent movies and we would rent a game, and we'd rent stuff like Wild Guns. We played together. Um, there wasn't a ton of stuff on Super Nintendo that we played together a lot. I think Wild Guns was the one I remember the most. A lot of it was, I mean, even though like stuff like Mario World had 2-player, we didn't do that too often. Because like the turn taking ones are kind of like meh. We did some fighting games together. That kind of became a thing for us for a little while, was fighting games, especially later on, stuff like Bushido Blade on the PlayStation. Oh, we had like a Bushido Blade tournament after my dad used to coach soccer, so we had like an end of year party, and we had a bunch of people over, and we were all just taking turns on Bushido Blade. That was fun. That was a really fun night. But we also played Bushido Blade with like my dad and my uncle, so the four of us like sort of taking turns, and Mortal Kombat. And this is my uncle who worked at Midway. He played Mortal Kombat with us. So it was fun. Whenever we visited up in, we went to Chicago where he's at. So it was there was a lot of like more competitive stuff that we did younger, but we didn't get to a lot of cooperative stuff until we stopped hating each other's guts after high school. So.
See, we played cooperatively while we hated each other's guts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Growing up,
I think
it was
we
a lot
probably.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we probably got along the best when we were playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we were younger, yeah.
Yeah, and we also had different systems too. So like, yeah, we had the PlayStation as like our group system, but I got a Dreamcast and she got an N64. So she would play kind of in her room, I would play in my room, and then we would do like family gaming time when we got like the PS2 and things like that. But definitely super competitive. Like both my dad, when he would play with us, and my Uncle Lester, they were cutthroat. Like they didn't care that we were kids; they were going to beat us. So they got really competitive.
Yeah, Dad was that way. Dad was very much no. Actually, one of the things we mentioned Doom. Earlier before we started recording, we played a lot of Doom cooperatively, and that was my brother, myself, Dad, and sometimes my uncle, or mom, yeah, and because like my dad always had like we had like we called the hall the computer hall, and it was like a long room. It had 4 computers on the wall, so it'd be like.
Oh wow.
Us two on the small computers, we call them, because we went off a monitor size, because you know when you're a kid you don't know the difference between a monitor and a computer. We'd have mom on the medium computer and dad on the big computer, and the 4 of us playing. Or we even had a landline that we ran all the way to my uncle who lived next door, for him to join in on Doom sometimes. So like I think at most we had like a 6-player deathmatch going one day, because they had a second computer somehow next door. I don't remember. They didn't. They weren't as technological as we were at our house. So like they had like a computer most of the time, but I think someone hooked up like a laptop or something like that, and we had. 6 of us playing at one time. So that was always fun. So we grew up in a house of gamers as well. So,
I know one thing that, and across, because like I game with both cousins on both sides of my families, but we would always do like pro wrestling, and we would get out the little adapters so we could plug in 4 controllers.
Oh.
And so it would be like me, Sasha, my cousin Brett, or my dad, or if like, let's say we were at my older adult cousin Brandon's, he would join in. But we would get really, really cutthroat with that. We would always pick a random wrestler too.
We would get into this like bit where whoever won the match, we would play Hell in the Cells, the 4-player Hell in the Cells, and whoever won would then on the next match get to pick who everybody got to be.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'd get my cousin Brett crying because he's in the throes of puberty, crying over having to be Spike Dudley while the rest of us are being real superstars.
Yeah.
And, oh man, that was fun.
Or we would take his if he was like staying the night, we would change his character while he was like taking a shower and like totally just change how he looks and make him just look totally bizarre. And he would spend so much time like making his wrestler like look like him, and
it's hilarious. We gamed some with our cousins. They weren't I don't know, they weren't ever as interested. My cousin Tina, she's a big WoW player now. We played WoW with her a couple times over the years, but not a lot. Like she was in from, I'm pretty sure day one. Like I'm pretty sure like ground floor WoW, and she has never quit since. So she's like a complete WoW diehard. And
Brain's been rewired.
yeah.
I feel like you've been playing WoW more years than you've not been playing it then. Yeah?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it was 2004 when it came out. It was I don't think you were. I think you maybe had listened to the episode, Sasha, when you were coming on, but we did the best year in gaming, and the consensus was 2004, partially because of WoW. But yeah, it's just like 2004. So we're talking. Gosh, we're coming up on 20 years. We're 3 years short.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that I've been clean of WoW for almost 10 years, so.
Last holiday season, just a year ago, Chauncey and I got back into it for Shadowlands. And we got back into it because we were supposed to have like a group of friends that the 5 of us were going to do like heroic raids and dungeons and stuff, and they never committed. So
We did it once.
yeah, they did
one
once.
Friday.
One Friday. Yeah. So I tapped out before Chauncey did, but Chauncey stuck with it a little longer. I did forget, I guess, to cancel my subscription because I noticed I got charged for my subscription earlier this week. I was like, darn it, I forgot again. And I haven't played since like January. So
my gaming like group is my cousins. I play on Xbox mostly. I have a Switch. I play a lot of Pokemon. But I'll just get on my chat. It's my cousin Brett and cousin Lucas and little Willie. But I play with them every night. We do a lot of like Dead by Daylight. I don't know if you've ever played that game.
I have not, but I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were really into that for a while because it's like 4-player survival team. But play a lot of that. And I've been playing with all them for years. It's kind of just like part of our life. Like same thing with the WoW. Like you've just been doing it longer than you haven't been doing it. So.
Yep. We've had this plan of a lot of games where Chauncey and I want to play something together if he can get a hold of a PS5. That is like yeah, that has been like a year of planning. So he's really big into Borderlands. I'm not. I didn't enjoy a lot of the earlier Borderlands because I played them by myself. But he did a lot of co-op games with his college roommate, and Borderlands is one of them. And Borderlands 3 came out a couple years ago, I guess. Is it 2 years ago now?
Something like that.
Yeah. We both got like Steelbook editions, and we just like played like. We didn't play a lot. I don't even think we were halfway.
We were probably like 80% through.
Were we? Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know how. Like I don't pay attention to Borderlands as much. So we have plans to play a lot of like PS5 games together or PS4 games, but like it's just
in a month or 3 years when I get one.
Yeah, I was able to get one, but because they locked it out per IP and we lived together, we were only able to get one. So
yep.
Oh,
there was one for sale here locally. It was a really big laugh for me. Card shop I go to, there's an Aaron's, rent down kind of store, and they had a PlayStation. I was like, is that a real PlayStation? Yeah. Monthly payments, like $550 for 3 months, or buy it now for $1,700 something. And we're like, you serious? Like, This is worse than the like horrible scalpers online.
We figured it out. Aaron's is the scalper. Aaron's is the scalpers.
They're rescalping it after buying a scalped one, probably.
Probably. They even
I've been trying to get.
Go ahead.
I've been trying to get Sasha to get a Switch because I play a lot of Pokemon, and she's still playing Sun and Moon on her little
3DS,
DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this. I'll get more details. Sasha, I was actually able to charge the extra Switch I have, so I probably will end up sending that to you. So.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I don't
I
know
like
if,
the sound of that. Thank you.
I don't know if you mind pink, but it is a bright pink Switch Lite.
I don't mind pink. You know, one time, Charles, for Christmas one year, Charles was still in high school, and I was in college, and I decided that I would buy my brother a Nintendo DS, and that's such a nice gift to give someone, right? And I bought it in pink for him.
Yep, I still have it. It's in the basement right now, actually. Yes.
Bright pink. All right.
Yeah, we did a lot of Diamond and Pearl. Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Pearl, which is kind of cool because the new releases just came out. I'm waiting for that.
That's what we've been playing. Now we haven't played together yet. We've been working separately. But I got Diamond, he got Pearl, and my girls got Diamond and Pearl. They've made no progress at all. It's just wasted money down the toilet. They're not playing it. But I've been doing a bug team, as I usually do, and I've talked about this with Sasha a couple times. I role play as a bug trainer now, just to make things more challenging. This is the roughest it has ever been. Did I tell you I finally got past the first gym last week?
How long did it take you?
4.5 hours of game time.
Was it worth it?
Not really. I had to train 3 Cricketoons just to get there, and I still had to rely on the traded one that was like level 24 when the Onyx is level 12. And just pray that it listened to me long enough to actually kill something. And then I got to it's got a Rampardos or whatever the Pachycephalosaurus Pokemon is, the rock dinosaur one.
I think that is it, yeah.
That's his anchor Pokemon. It's like the tough one. And I would keep losing on that one. The most frustrating time, because Cricketoon learns Sing. So all right, he listened to me, turn 1 against this thing. I got it to sing so I can buy myself some extra time. And then I guess I never really trained a lot of Pokemon that were not up to your trainer level. You have to get the badge to get them to listen to you. Then my Cricketoon went to sleep itself on the next turn. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then it was asleep 3 turns longer than the Rampardos. So I was like, oh, that was the most frustrating part. I just recently, having beat all of the gyms, that was the only gym I had trouble with. But after having recently beat all of them, I finally found a 6th Pokemon because I only catch bugs. Now I do catch stuff I caught Diagala because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
But I do have it in my box, and I will be trading it to Chance for another bug, probably a Pinsir. But it's when I do this, I actually really enjoy it because it gets you to use some things that you would never use. Who's going to use Cricketoon? Kricketot is the weakest piece of crap bug I have ever seen in the Pokemon's history.
It's awful.
It has its move is Pound, and Pound is terrible. At least
it's 40 damage.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, and it's even Weedle gets Poison Sting, and you could possibly poison something with it. This is just nothing. But Cricketune is actually kind of cool. Cricketune has like a high attack rate and like a high like a little attack stat, and it's kind of fast and it crits really easily. So it's like a good stabbing Pokemon. And then it sings things to sleep. And I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Is Larvesta in that game? That turns into the
I think that's black, because I think that's where I started. So I didn't start doing what I call my Bug Cham save. I didn't start doing Bug Cham until black. It was Pokemon Black. Or I was like, all right, I like Pokemon, but I'm tired of the rigmarole, the same formula all the time. I'm going to role play as a bug catcher.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, especially because the newer games now they're so linear. Like back the older ones, you had to do a lot of like puzzles and exploring and HMs, and now it's like walking this straight line. Everything's kind of done for you. But I do like the new wild areas, though. I thought that was a really cool addition to Sword and Shield.
Well, Sword and Shield, when Chauncey and I played that together, it was a week, and we completed the Pokedex, the two of us.
Oh, I just completed mine like 2 days ago, but I wasn't trying to. I was doing a lot of shiny grinding without the shiny charm, and I'm like, I just need to get that done. It's like right now I'm trying to breed Larvestas so I can get a shiny Larvesta, because that's my favorite bug Pokemon. So
okay. Scorchopede's mine. Like Sword and Shield, the Scorchopede. Yeah. That was a fun one. Because I'd bring that out in a battle. It has a dark move, a fire move, a water move, and a grass move. And it's a firebug. So
it's got good coverage.
And I was just like, yeah, this is fun. And he was my Dynamax target too. That's the one I would use to Dynamax. But John, do you want to talk about your shiny hunting and Shield?
Oh, Sword.
You played Sword. I had Shield.
I don't remember which one, but we kind of loosely with some friends were like, oh, it'd be cool if we like had specific teams and actually put some effort into IV and EV training stuff. And it's like, well, I have a shiny Eevee already, so maybe I'll just do an Eevee team. And it took doing all the hatching and getting a perfect breeding pair, so most of them came out perfect, to have another shiny pop out. So it was probably 3-4 days. And I did not realize that the first one I had that I made a Flareon was already a super shiny.
Oh.
And it took seeing another shiny to be like, that doesn't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've never had a super shiny before. What's your favorite Eeveelution, I guess is my question.
It's changed. I'm a changed man after Sun and Moon. I used to like all of them, and now anything that wants its fluffy fur petted during the game, I don't care. I want my Muck who doesn't care. Muck, you could go 10 battles and he doesn't need anything. The 12th battle, he wants to go, good Muck. Whereas it was like Sylveon, every battle wanted you to fluff her fur.
Yeah.
I used to always do Jolteon, and I had red, she had blue, because we were competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I would always do Jolteon, and then she would do the Espeon, and I would do Umbreon. We kind of always. I was Charizard, she was Squirtle. Did a lot of. I know you like the what's the fairy one? That's the Sylveon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sasha likes that one.
Yeah, I used to have a Sylveon down here until Ripley saw my nerdy cave, and she wouldn't leave without taking toys, so she stole Sylveon and Squirtle.
It's funny how you're talking about families and Pokemon. When I was a little kid, I was like 8, and I beat Pokemon Red, and I had a lot of the Pokemon because we had a link cable, so I had almost my whole Pokedex complete too. And one day I get home from school or something, and I go and turn on my game, and I'm at like Route 2, and I'm like, what's going on? My cousins were living with us at the time, and I look at the save file, and it says, Austin, 2 Pokemon, 10 minutes of gameplay. He had saved over me. He was my age, too. Like, he knew better. And I was not happy at all about that.
Yeah. We had our mom save over our first start on Blue, I think it was, when we only had Blue. She's like, hey, can I try this out? Sure. And we were like, I don't know, 5 hours in, and we go look and go, oh no, you can't have more than one save on this.
Yeah, that was just our ignorance there, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember how I lost my first save, because that's how you lost your first save. I'm pretty sure, like, I beat the Elite Four, and then I lost that save and then did it again. Because I started with Charizard, I know that. But when I played it again, I went with Bulbasaur, which was one of my favorites up until I started doing this bug thing. Just to answer the Eeveelution thing, I actually really... I just like Flareon the most. I like the fluffiness that it looks like. But I end up not liking it too much because it just decimates my whole team now, usually.
Yeah, battling's pretty bad for him.
Oh,
the style on him, destroying a whole bug team with just the super shiny Flareon.
Yeah.
You need anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I had it, like, I had to, like, so, like, Sword and Shield was the one that I felt like I did the best with this idea, because I had, was it Dwebble? A Crustle? The evolution that has, like, the whole freaking sand castle on his back, felt like.
Yeah, like the big rock. Yeah.
Because he had Sturdy, he couldn't get one shot. So I would throw in Stealth Rock turn one, and then I would just sort of like, oh, hey, and if it actually managed to get an attack in, it actually had a really good stat for doing Earthquake. So I would just keep Earthquaking things. And then, yeah, just switch in. Like, every single one of my bug Pokemon, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I have a tank, and, like, I have, like, this one, it's like, has, like, a bunch of, like, helper moves to sort of, like, buff the team and that kind of stuff. They're all just stab, like, high attack stab for me. That's the way I have to play.
Some glass cannons.
Yeah, they're all glass cannons outside of Dwebble. So it was just like...
Bug Trainer Jam plays like an elementary school child.
I do. I have to, because that's the only way they work. Yeah. Oh, it was funny. There's a in Diamond and Pearl, there's actually a couple Bug Trainer kids, and one of the kids was like, I just wanted to show you the power of bug Pokemon. I was like, kid, I just beat you with nothing but bug Pokemon. You're cool. Like, we're on the same team, kid.
I might have to try a run through like that and just pick a type. What I was doing in Sun and Moon was, after I beat the game because I was bored, I would see, can I beat the Elite Four with just one type team? So, like, all water, all grass, things like that.
Yeah.
But when I bought a Switch, somehow I lost my Nintendo information and I could not recover it. So I lost, like,
oh, wow,
all of them. I had to start from scratch, and it was kind of devastating because I had, when X and Y finished, I only needed like 7 more to complete the national decks.
The living decks, yeah.
Yeah, and they're all just in Pokemon Limbo on my 2DS right now in the Pokebank. So, yeah. They're still around. I had to start fresh on Sword. And I only have one shiny. I just got my first shiny the other day, and it's a Mudsdale, and it has terrible stats, so...
Oh, man. The Flareon, Chance, wasn't it at least somewhat trained? Like IVEV trained, or no? Was that before you got to that point?
I think it became one of the, like, plausible breeders. Like, I think it had maybe special defense. Wasn't perfect, but everything else was perfect.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For reference, I'm not perfect IVEV trading in Brilliant Diamond. I'm not. There's not enough tools for me to care about it. It's just not going to happen.
I try to get them all to at least amazing, where it'll say like amazing stats, and at that point you could make it work. But I don't do that either.
I did it for it was all perfect in Sword and Shield, all perfect.
Yeah, I did it once, so I don't feel like I ever need to do that again.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. That was like the majority of us playing after that week. Got the Pokedex completed, and then we started the IVEV training, and that was like 3 or 4 weeks of just that. And
mostly running around on the bicycle hatching eggs.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's not how I want to play
all I've
Pokemon.
been doing. I got to be in the mood for it. So like, I still haven't even completed the like extra content, but I was like, you know what? I've got this Larvesta, I've got 2 foreigns, I got the shiny charm. I'm just gonna knock it out. So I've been all weekend. That's what I've been doing, just riding the bike back and forth.
I
just
haven't been playing. I got sidetracked and I started playing Super Metroid again. I just played it, like, hey, I'll just boot up this Super Nintendo game because I feel like
I just started grad school too, so it's kind of hard to balance working and this. But I still may take time to game at night after I get everything done.
Hey, that's what I did for a while. John's gonna attest to this. I would do work, take care of kids and stuff, and then 11 o'clock at night I'd start gaming.
Game time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is there any other games that were like significant to you guys, like co-oping together? Obviously, Pokemon's a big one. It was big for us too throughout the years.
You know, we used to, when we were little, we used to watch our dad play video games a lot. And one that I remember loving watching my dad play, and I can say I've never played it as an adult, is Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
I feel like I was the only like 8-year-old who knew how Metal Gear ended, and every single way that Metal Gear could possibly end.
Nice.
Being very emotionally invested in what's going to happen to Meryl. I remember being really upset with my dad one time over him not making the right choices.
Well, because if you do different things, you get like the camouflage or you get the bandana, which gives you unlimited ammo. So he played through it to get all the different things. And I was younger than 8. That was the first 2 games I like beat that weren't like, like Sega Genesis style, just kind of linear. Was Metal Gear Solid, because he let me play it, because he let me watch it so much, and Pokemon. So, and then we used to do the VR missions. Which I don't know if you guys know what that game is. It's Metal Gear VR missions. So essentially, there's like all these little missions you have to do, and we would, as a team, work together, like take turns on the different missions.
They were just like these wireframe puzzles, right?
Yeah, so it was like you had to master all the different weapons, all the different like actions that Snake could do. Like there were ones where they were like stealth
box
missions.
Training. Yes.
Yes, there was. There was cardboard box. There was one where like the only way to beat it was you had to find that there were cigarettes somewhere in the map, and then light the cigarettes to find the red lines to crawl underneath them. There was the Nikita missions.
Missile. Yeah, shoot the missiles through the ductwork.
I remember my dad getting so mad about the Nikita missions and just like, here, do it, whatever. We're not gonna finish it because I'm not doing it. So I'm like sitting and memorizing, like, okay, you're gonna move it forward like 3 spots through the ductwork, and then you got to turn left, and then it's only gonna be 1. You got to turn right really fast, and then you're gonna go 4 more forward, and
we
finally beating it. And then our cousin Austin also saved over that on our memory card. Memory card.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always the cousin that messes things up like that. We have the same cousin in our family. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very disheartening. He didn't play the game ever again. He was like, I'm done. Like his progress was just gone.
That's rough.
I think we were at like 99%. We were really close to finishing all the VR missions.
Oh no.
There were like a couple of those stealth ones that you just never wanted to ever do again. And
I played the VR missions with a friend. Like we did like an overnight trying to complete them, and obviously we did not get done. I don't think we even got to 50. So yeah, that's the only time I've played Metal Gear Solid personally is those VR missions.
Another thing my dad and I used to play was like, I've been to sports a lot, so we'd play Madden football. And in like Madden 2000, you could unlock these Madden cards, so they were in-game cheats, and we had like an honor system truce, like don't use the Madden cards. So he went outside for something. He had to go get something from his van. He was gone for a minute. So I popped in and I put on all these, like every time I would hit him, his guy would drop the ball. And it took him like a minute to figure. He was getting really mad at the game too, and then he realized I was like 8. I turned on all these Madden cheats, essentially. But we would play that every year. Every time the new Madden come out, we'd get that, and then we'd play. And then he used to always be better than me. Then eventually, once I got a little older, he stopped playing. But
yeah, our dad used to play a lot of games with us when we were really young. But as he got older, he got busier with work because we all work in the family business, and he's the owner. So like when we were younger, he was a lot busier than. I mean, he's about the same level as busy now. But he had less time to play with us, so it was mostly just my brother and I playing stuff together. By the time we were probably late grade school. So Chance, what are some co-op games that you remember particularly for us?
Well, mentioning Dad, I was kind of thinking of we played War in the North with Dad.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, the game was terrible.
Well, it was fine. Like. I mean, I remember it was basically Dad was the dwarf, you were going to be the archer, so I think I had to play the elf chick, sorceress.
Yeah.
So I remember the characters right, I'm not super sure. But, I mean, that was kind of neat. We probably played, maybe 10 hours of that with him before you and I ended up doing another save and finishing it later. But, yeah, it felt like one of the, because we've played Doom somewhat recently with Dad here and there.
Yeah.
And using, the DZ Doom stuff. And it feels that way where it's like, I'm upstairs, he's in the living room, Cham's in his room. We're all just kind of half shouting at each other. Like, is it working?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little more complicated to get Doom running these days because you have to go through Z-Doom and then you have to load different files and stuff. Yeah, it's just a little more complicated these days. But we get it to work sometimes. I've had them.
You're talking about the original Doom?
Mm-hmm.
See, on Xbox, they have those old ones on the Game Pass. And so you can play Doom, Doom 2, Doom 64. And it has the multiplayer features, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do. They have the same thing for Switch as well. But I'm the only one that owns them on Switch here because I'm just that much of a Doom fan. And yeah. Go ahead, Chance.
I said another big one is we spent 2 years playing Smash Brothers Melee for 2 hours after school every day.
Yes.
And that was actually a game that Mom played with us occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Princess Peach, she would.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that, I had a lot of time in that game. A lot of friends. But I particularly remember one time, this is a Saturday before he went to go see his ex before they were married.
Mm-hmm.
And we played 3.5 hours of games. And in those 3.5 hours of me, him, and 2 level 9 bots, I think he won 1 game. And I won the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And he legitimately talked to me later about that, about being in a funk, pseudo-depressed that day because of how much butt whooping he got.
Yeah, I was just like, I can't win. I don't know what the deal is. But since then, I have taken Smash Brothers a lot less seriously, so we play random now. We don't pick characters. We don't one-on-one. We never one-on-one though. We always played with bots and items and stuff. But it was just Chance always wins. How do I get past this? My one caveat is I would normally have more KOs. Normally. Not always, but normally.
Who are your go-to Smash characters?
Bowser's my number one, if I pick.
Okay.
But it's always been Bowser since Melee. I don't know what it is, but go ahead, Chance.
I would go with Marth, but they changed his basic special attack to be that stab instead of that chop.
Mm-hmm.
And that change alone, I was like, don't really have anyone I particularly like a lot. I like DDD. But, yeah, some of the newer stuff, I just play random enough. I don't really have a favorite or character I feel the best at anymore.
Yeah, the girls and I actually were playing Smash today. We were playing Ultimate today. They like to have like team battles where it's us three and a computer versus four computers. Of course, they're young enough that I have to turn the computers down pretty far, but it works out okay. Like I don't always win either. Like we lose occasionally because it ends up being me and a bot versus four bots. So usually, although Cece used Meta Knight today, and she got like 5 kills and no deaths. So she was just like, "Oh, I like this character. Who's Meta Knight?" I was like, "It's the bad guy in Kirby." "Oh, I don't like him anymore. I don't want to be Kirby's bad guy." Like, sorry, it's just who he is. Like, oh man. Another series that Chance and I both co-op on a lot is Monster Hunter, as usual. Him and I are probably locked in progress on that game more so than any other game. Like, I have a little bit ahead of him on hunting time in the newest one, but like most of the gameplay was us always playing together and then other people joining us every once in a while. Very little playing on our own or without each other at all, especially on the newest one, Rise. But that didn't happen until, gosh, the first couple games we had to share a system, so we couldn't play together. So not until
it was either like 3 Ultimate was the first one that we actually really got to play a lot together, because that was when we could do the actual. I could play on the handheld, and you could play on the Wii U.
Yes, yeah, that was interesting. It was able to crossplay between a Wii U and 3DSs locally. So I had a Wii U, he had a 3DS, and we had another friend come over who had a 3DS. So the three of us would all hunt together in those days. And then another one is Diablo. We play a lot of Diablo together as well. Diablo 3 was a big one for us online. We played Diablo 2 recently together, but not as long. It's like, hey, I remember this game. We beat it. Okay, we're good.
It's just really disheartening, like not being really in depth in the game before. Being like, oh, there's all these cool final game builds you can do to farm all the best stuff. Well, what do we need to find to do that? Oh, you need the best stuff first. Oh, sad.
I feel like I don't love Diablo for the same reason that you don't love Borderlands, that most of my experience playing Diablo is playing by myself.
Sure.
So it just feels like such a grind to me that I don't know. I can't imagine spending the money to buy the remastered version of it.
Yeah.
I waited a long time to even buy the Xbox One version after I played it on 360.
So it's Diablo's part of like what I call my big 3. Monster Hunter, Doom, and Diablo are my 3 favorite series, and Diablo is a lot for the lore and the story, and the gameplay obviously is what keeps me coming back to the game. But I get so wrapped up in and just like, I mean, the cutscenes for Diablo since 2 and 3 have always been just amazing. Like, my favorite cutscene in a video game period is the Act 1 ending cutscene in Diablo 3, where Tyrael rips off his wings. And he's like, "You cannot judge me. I am justice itself." And, that whole speech he has. And I'm just like, that is freaking awesome. Like,
Agree, they do have really excellent cutscenes. I've played through Diablo 3. I've probably put through maybe a good 60 hours in just one version of Diablo 3, but all by myself. I don't think I've played Diablo at all with another person, other than a little bit of co-op with my husband for maybe an hour, and then I'm like, I'm bored. I can't do this.
We tried the one night. I bought the game, and then it was me and my wife, because we had, at the time, 2 systems, and Sasha and Kyle. that's her husband, all got together, and it felt very grindy. And I was still new. I've never played Diablo, so I had no experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we played it the one night and just never again played it. It was fun that night.
It wasn't fun for me because I was the only one who had played Diablo 3, so I'm like, everyone's like really invested trying to figure out what's going on, and my guy's like running in a circle because I'm just like spinning my joystick around and I'm not paying attention at all. Like, okay, come on, let's go.
Let me kill the things. I made a epic tactical error when Diablo 3 originally first came out on PC. Cham had got it. He got it for his now ex-wife, and I picked it up. I was like, I really want to play the Witch Doctor. That really feels like the kind of character I can really enjoy. And, okay, so we'll all play together, and I'll play the Witch Doctor with you guys. We had beat, because there used to be, like, you go through, you beat it on normal, beat it on Nightmare, then you beat it on Hell. And for a little while, they had the Inferno difficulty. We actually beat it on Inferno. I think you were a wizard, and I was the monk.
Yep, wizard and monk.
We beat it on Inferno, I think, before we made it through normal with his ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, like, all this, like, frustration of myself that I tied playing my favorite class to playing with them, and realizing just how terrible of a plan it was to depend on that. And it's like, I should have just played another one and been like, if we play, we play.
I will openly blame my ex-wife for that one. That one was... I tried to get her to play all the time. She's like, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, but so then we're just going to progress to that? No, you're not allowed. But I want to play a barbarian, darn it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was... Yeah, so we played a lot of Diablo 3 together over the years, like throughout the latter seasons and everything. I'm probably going to play again. This next season coming up looks amazing. They have soul shards now, so like they have like Diablo's soul stone is like an item that goes in a head socket on a helmet. And it gives you like a bunch of extra powers and stuff. And like one of the things, Chauncey, we talked a little bit about this, like between you and I about this season. One of the things they're going to do is that one of these socket items actually has the effect of every gem. So you can't like, so if you're like, oh man, I usually put like a ruby in there for the experience, or like a topaz for like the magic find or whatever. It's like, no, it does every single gem also doing all these extra abilities. So it's just like the end of Diablo 3 has become like an even more power trip than usual. With like, because the previous season they had
ethereal items are nonsensical.
Yeah, ethereal weapons. So ethereal was a thing from Diablo 2, if you remember. They were the things that could break, but these were like unbreakable, like godly items that were like, they took every build and essentially quadrupled their power. It's like, because it was like, hey, you want a free like super legendary power on your weapon that you used to have to wear like 7 different pieces to get? No, it's on a weapon now, just a one weapon. So there you go. And that's kind of the things they've been doing lately. And it's like, all right, I'm back. I just want to slay some demons and just get it done. And like, I'll play it. Like I even forgoed playing the Diablo 2 beta, the remaster beta, because I was still working on Diablo 3 season at the time. I was like, nah, I know I'll play the beta. I'll know I'll play the game when it comes. Uh-oh. I lost Discord. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
You missed the great comment of you just left to go play Diablo. You got yourself too pumped.
I did. No. All right. There we go.
Was that just a Discord issue, or are you still streaming on Twitch?
I'm still streaming on Twitch somehow. So yeah, let me fix that.
And we've played a lot here and there, but there's been seasons that like I played one of the seasons on the Switch, playing a Crusader, and that was honestly what I felt was it was a way worse power trip than the Theros. Granted, I'm sure the Switch leaderboards for Diablo mean nothing compared to computer, but I broke the top 100 Crusaders for the Greater Rifts at one point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I feel great about this. When I looked at what other people were doing, I was like, holy moly, the difference between me and the next person is 17 hours of gameplay that every 30 minutes you need to get an upgrade. This is insane.
Well, that's unfortunate. I have lost video because the streaming is sucking up it's weird because I have to open it up in a certain way when I'm setting it up. So I just won't have video the rest of the pod because I'd have to turn off the stream to do it. Which is the whole point of doing the video. Oh well, technical difficulties. I don't know why Discord dropped out like that. I didn't lose internet or anything. It's very weird.
Much Diablo talk. I got excited.
I know. I get excited about Diablo. I'm sorry.
Sasha and I get excited. Probably sure you know from her about Elder Scrolls. So that was something that, even though it's a single player game, back when Morrowind came out, it would be me, her, and her boyfriend, her husband now at the time, we were in high school. We would play in 15-minute increments, and then back then on the old Xbox, it took so long to load. So it would take 10 minutes to load, then you get 15 minutes to play, then it was someone else's turn, and we would just go in a circle.
That's why we bumped it up to 15 minutes, because it took so long to load.
Yeah.
And I would spend my entire 15 minutes selling everything to the Creeper and Gorak Manor.
Yeah. Yeah, we would have our recall spell set right in front of the Creeper, and then just keep your stuff in the crate right by him. Yeah. You would have to, we had a whole buyback system figured out, because he only had 5,000 gold, something like that. And a lot of the Daedric items in that game are worth 120,000 gold. So we would...
Wow.
Sasha came up with the system. I'll credit her.
I learned that as soon as you can start killing the temple guards, it's money, because their boots and their helmets sell for exactly $5,000 even. So you'd sell the Daedric item to the Creeper and then buy back the helmets and boots, so that then you could sell it back to them in perfect 5,000 increments of gold.
Wow.
This would take so long, because you would have to wait 24 hours in game. It's just this back and forth.
Well, this is why my game took so long to load, because he had everything I ever found in the game I sold to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that transferred to Oblivion. When the 360 came out, Sasha and I went in on a 360 together, specifically for Oblivion, got it at launch. And within about a week or two, one day I'm downstairs in the basement playing, and she comes down and she hands me a check for $216.43, the exact amount that I paid for mine. And she bought me out because my Oblivion character was a higher level than hers, and she didn't like that I was playing.
No, because I had a job, and he was in school still, and I was pissed off that I didn't get to play. He was hogging the system, so I bought it. I bought the rest of it.
You did, yeah. And it's funny, talking about family. My grandpa was a gamer too, but he was very OCD and rigid.
Yeah.
So he would make you So when he made his Oblivion characters, if he did anything wrong that went against his roleplay, he would literally delete the whole character. And so he spent a lot of time at our house, and he would literally, it was the same routine. He'd show up, make a new character, walk and grind against the wall to get his athletics up. Usually probably die or accidentally shoot an arrow at someone and get an assault charge. And then he would delete the character and just restart over and over.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
He one time came over, and I'm I probably had been playing this character for over 100 hours, and I go into this cave, and he goes, "Oh, you got to be careful. there's vampires in this cave. And I'm like, yeah, I am a vampire. He's like, what? God damn it. Why would you do that? What's wrong with you?
Or we'd get him going just to troll him. I would like go into the town and just start slaying everyone in the town. And he'd be like, God damn it. What are you doing? He's like, you're supposed to be thing of the Fighters Guild. And I would just, reload my save.
Yeah.
Another funny thing about him one time, though, I was playing Mortal Kombat, and I was kind of decent at Mortal Kombat at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he liked to just watch me play games. So I'm playing, and this is back when the 360s had the old intercoolers on them that like did not work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm playing, and all of a sudden the cooler catches on fire, like as the fatality screen comes up. And I go to stand up to put it out the fire, and he's like, "Fucking finish him! Finish him!" He's like screaming at me to. He was a character for sure.
Finish him or oh my gosh, that was
he wanted me to do the fatality. Yeah,
that was the one thing that sold me that like so I enjoyed the Xbox, right, but the 360 I was like I had so many problems with that system between owning two of them that red ringed, and then also just like I remember we were in an FYE right after they came out in like 2005. And someone came in and like the whole backplate had fused and melted together.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not getting that system. Like I don't want to burn something down. Like I don't, because the only thing that was interesting to me when it first came out was the anything Halo, and then oh, what was that? It was another shooter. I can't remember its name. It was a very
Gears of War?
No, it had the lady on the front. I can't remember the name of the series. But anyways,
see, my dad and I, we fixed more than 2 red rings of death. So like our basement, we had a pool table, and we turned it into just like a scrapyard of 360 parts because I had a system, he had a system, Sasha had a system. So anytime one part would break off one, we would just swap it out. So like my system was like, by the time I bought it, like the newer model, it was this hodgepodge of like random parts from different ones. Because there was also issues where the disc readers, it was very common for the disc readers to break. So, I took out the disc reader from one and put it into mine because my disc reader broke. I was just telling him, Sasha, about how we had like all the 360 parts in the basement, and me and Dad fixed a few of the red ring of deaths.
Because one time my Xbox red ringed in the middle of the night, and I went to the Meijer that was open 24 hours and bought another Xbox middle of the night.
She did.
Hey, I'm back. I got it to work somehow. I actually had to delete it off of the stream thing. I had to delete my webcam off of the stream. It was very weird. So anyways.
Did you guys ever play Left 4 Dead?
Yes. He didn't. I did. I played it a lot with college buddies.
Okay. I played a tiny bit.
Actually, speaking of which, I've been playing Back 4 Blood with a couple people in our Discord once in a while.
Oh, okay. I loaded it up. I haven't really played it much, to be honest. But
it feels...
I think I put like an hour into it.
Yeah, I got through like the first mission. And
it feels similar, but I would say the personalities are a little better fleshed out than they were in Left 4 Dead. Of course, I only played Lewis in Left 4 Dead, because I thought it was hilarious when he's like popping pills, popping pills, popping pills, like just like not Lewis. I'm sorry, Lewis was the biker. I played the accountant, the black guy.
No, Francis is the biker.
Francis is the biker. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. No, okay. Yeah, no.
Lewis's pills here.
Yep. So I played Lewis because it was the closest thing to what I was at the time. I was working a desk job and that kind of thing. So like, I was like, yeah, that's me. So like, I really enjoyed that game, but I actually played most of it at the beginning in college. And I played with like a group of like 3 guys. Like I just walked by them and like we were in like a lab, and they were talking about like, oh man, this game's awesome. I was like, yeah, I just got that too. I just like sort of interjected myself in the conversation, and they were like, oh well, we've been looking for a fourth, and we would play. I don't know if you guys how much you guys played like in the versus mode. But like it seemed like when people would jump in on the versus mode, if they weren't the infected, they were like, I don't want to be the survivors. We're out. Like they just wanted to play the infected. So these guys and I would be like, nah, we're not. We still want to play. So we'll just start it. We'll just lock in as the survivors and let people sort of get into it and be like, okay, now we'll start as the survivors, let them play as the infected, so we don't get people leaving, and then we'll turn around and do the infected. And to be honest, people hated us as the survivors because we were so fast and so coordinated. Like, I remember one time in particular, it was the apartments of No Mercy. So, like, literally Act 1, Stage 1. We were out in the street, running across the street, and then the first tank usually spawns by that point, and we spawned behind the tank. And the tank usually spawns like really far up ahead and has to run towards the group. We actually spawned behind the tank. He didn't even see us, and he kept running towards where we would have come around the corner. So we're like, oh, wow, cool. And we just go in and we finish the level. Done. No.
Yeah, it's definitely different between if you do like just the actual campaign missions versus because versus you got to cruise. You got to like run through it. But like I had this whole method figured out of like, I would play on expert by myself, not beat it a lot of times, but that was like how I got good at the game though. I'd usually get caught up around like the fourth or fifth one. But Sasha and I heard her talk about it on her intro episode. But the first time we were on the expert level.
You mean when you left me on the roof of the hospital?
I made a business decision that day because we had spent so much time like,
oh no,
just getting to the fifth part because you can't save it, you know. So I was like, you know what, I'm gone. I'm out, and I just booked it. Sasha's like getting swarmed and dying, and I just hopped on the helicopter and left. But to be fair, we did do what's the corn one? Blood something.
Blood Harvest.
Blood Harvest. We did that. We got the Untouchables achievement on expert on that.
Wow.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
So with two bots, that's insane.
Yes.
Yep.
So I would always be Francis because Francis was the worst aim for a bot, had the worst aim and was limited by the shotgun. You want to have Bill and Zoe as the two if you're going to run it two person because she's got the sniper, he's got the rifle, and they're going to do the best like picking things off before they can get to you. And so she was Lewis and I was Francis. And we just like sat at the dock. We like triggered the event and just sat at the dock, and nothing even got near us. It was pretty cool. Very proud of that moment.
It did not make me feel better about being left on the roof of the hospital.
Made me feel better because that's when I got the achievement for beating them all on expert. Yeah, we spent a lot of time playing that. We would actually play that with like our cousin. My uncle Lester is a big gamer. I know. We played a lot with him. He was terrible at that game, though. He would, because I was very like rigid about you need to play a certain way, and he would do stuff like he'd pick up like the propane tanks or like, why do you have a grenade launcher? Put that down. Are you stupid?
Mm-hmm. I remember one of my favorite memories of us playing versus. I was with my boyfriend, my husband, and we were at his house, and Charles was playing with my uncle at our house.
Yeah.
And I was on Special Infected. Charles and my uncle were the survivors. And I can hear my brother like being rude to my uncle about like, quit picking that up, put that down, stand here, come here. Like, so my husband and I decided we were going to target my uncle and just leave Charles alone the whole time. And I think I jockeyed my uncle, and Charles got charged.
Where the plane
in Swamp Fever, I think.
Yeah, where you trigger the plane.
Mm-hmm. And I jockeyed my uncle like way, way, way off, like as far off to where like the map ends. and I could hear my brother yelling, and all of a sudden you just hear like the mic like smack the floor really loud, and then the game disconnects on their end. And so we text Charles like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I'm not playing this game with you guys anymore. I'm done."
I may have broken my headset.
Oh,
mind you, I was like 15 or 16,
yeah.
But yeah. And then I had to, because it was my only headset, I had to tape it up. So this old taped up headset.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was one of the things that that I wanted Chance to get a PS5 for, so he could play Back 4 Blood with me. I was like, my game was I wanted to do Back 4 Blood, and we were going to do Borderlands with him, but you can't get a hold of one. So I played a little bit here and there with Ace, our co-host who's gone for the holidays. I played a lot with my friend Brian, and we've not got out of the first chapter of the game yet. Like, there's a lot. Like, if you remember, Left 4 Dead was like, hey, here's Act 1, here's 4 levels, you're done. Here's Act 2, here's 4 levels, you're done. So this has 4 acts, but it's like Act 1 is like 4 levels, 2 levels, 3 levels, 4 levels, then Act 2. And it's like, it's like, what is going? So it's like acts and chapters and that kind of stuff. But he lost his mind. There's a mission where there's a jukebox, and you have to distract the infected away from a bunch of survivors getting on buses and trying to escape. So like you're sort of like distracting the zombies while they escape, and the jukebox turns on, and apparently it's a really important song for him in his life, Black Betty. So like Black Betty comes on, and he's like losing his mind laughing, because I guess he used to have his an old boss of his when he worked at Radio Shack used to play that song while they were cleaning up for the night every night, and they would just sort of like dance around and like clean up to that song, and he was just like singing along, and we're fighting this thing, and my other friend Jacob and I were just like, what's going on? Like, why is he losing his mind over the song? Like, I mean, it's a cool moment. It's a cool moment in the game, but like, why is he so into this right now?
We really do get into the Midnight Riders.
Yeah,
we would turn the jukebox on in the level, the sacrifice level.
Mm-hmm.
And
just to listen to Midnight Riders.
Yeah. And it didn't always play the Midnight Riders. Sometimes it would play a different song. But if it played the Midnight Riders, everybody on their mic's like, yeah.
Yeah. I never played 2 that much. I never played Left 4 Dead 2 because... No, I did play Left 4 Dead 2. I didn't play it a lot because that's where they added the melee cooldown, where it was like, well, they added melee weapons in general, but they added like a cooldown, and there didn't used to be like for the first half of Left 4 Dead 1, and that's a lot of how we got through a lot of things, was just like constantly meleeing zombies away. So we never shot, so nothing ever alerted. You would just punch zombies out of the way and run through. And like when you got the melee cooldown, our whole strategy was dead. So we all just quit playing. So like we're just like, so it kind of like, so number 2 having that cooldown is just like, I'm not into it. I'm not here. But Back 4 Blood has it, and it's okay. I don't. It's fun. I'd like to play more of it, but people have busy schedules and stuff, and got other games we're playing too, like Pokemon, and apparently other stuff I've been getting into. I'm excited though. So I do the other show. We're finally finishing No More Heroes 3. I've had it finished for like months, and we're finally getting around to recording Tuesday. But we're doing Metroid Dread for the episode after that. I've already finished Dread. So I'm already working on the next game, but we already voted on the next game, and that's Jurassic Park Evolution 2. I get to do another park manager game. I love it. I get to play it. It gives me an excuse to play it too, so I'm excited for that.
That's another game that I like started up with full intentions of like I'm gonna get in because I like Jurassic Park when I was a little kid was one of my favorite movies. I would watch it like all the time. But I loaded it up. I built the first building. It was like got the achievement for doing the dinosaur, and I was like, all right, back to baseball. I just turned it off.
I got
same
it
thing with
free.
It's on Game Pass. Well, not the new one, but the first one's on Game Pass. So that's where I got it. One thing we were recently playing, like my cousins that I game with, the new Alien game that came out, Aliens, like fire team type game. So we played through it on normal, everything's fine. And then the second they turn the friendly fire off, my two idiot cousins are just shooting each other, and it's like, well, you shot me, and we like it just killed the game for us because they would just murder each other, and we couldn't progress through any of the levels. And I'm like, I'm not playing this with you guys anymore.
Oh, geez.
I don't know if you played that, but that's a pretty fun game.
No, I hadn't yet. A lot of the stuff that Chauncey and I ended up playing together, a lot of times Switch. Because we did play PS4 stuff for a while, and we actually play a lot of PC stuff at times. But I think we used to play League of Legends together quite a bit. He played a lot more than I did. But we actually had like a full team at one point that we were trying to like actually progress in like rankings and stuff like that. So like we'll play PC stuff eventually sometimes, but since I've moved back here, our internet can't handle too much. As you saw Discord dying earlier during this stream. So
yeah.
I don't know what happened there. Some system's downloading something, I bet. That's usually what happens.
We have our good old country fried internet, and anytime something's moving slow or Hulu has a weird amount of buffering, I always have to yell, Cham, what are you downloading? And it sounds like an unfair assumption, but for a month of playing D&D, and this has been years ago now because of COVID, that we were online with people, and every time we get online, like, you guys are really choppy, it seems like a bad connection. I did a lot of search around that first week. Cham was downloading something. Oh, I need to stop that. Then for 3 weeks in a row afterwards, like, all right, what are you downloading this time? Nothing, I swear. Oh wait, the Switch was downloading something. Now it's just always his fault. He lived in Dayton. He had good internet. He doesn't understand how to live on country fried internet. Auto updates aren't real.
Yeah, I leave auto updates on,
to us.
Whereas he doesn't. So it's like, I don't know, something updated on the Switch.
Could be anything.
Yeah. Of my 129 games I saw today, we had some company over after my in-law, ex-sister-in-law came over, and we were talking about Switch games and stuff. They're like, Cham, how much Switch games do you have? I was like, it's a lot. Let me go look. And you can go to re-download page, and it's like 129. I was like, yeah, I got a lot. And that doesn't count the physical ones. So we had a nice, like, our friend Courtney, he was asking me, she was like, well, all right, what are they? So we went through a whole list of all the games I have. So it was like, here's this game, and here's this game. And we eventually got on. Have you ever played Bulletstorm? That was like a 360 game.
I've never even heard of that.
So Bulletstorm, I don't like this game, but I love the Duke Nukem Edition one. So it's this interesting game as far as gameplay goes, where it's just like sort of like a linear story shooter where, you know, you kill bad guys, you've been betrayed, you're out to kill the guy or whatever. And it's set in this like futuristic like sci-fi world. And you have stuff like this leash, but like you get like currency for like the crazy kills you get on the soldiers. So you'll kick them into a giant cactus and stuff, and like you get points. And like the more gruesome the kill, the more creative the kill, the more points you get. Yeah, so like it's kind of a cool game, but like the main character is just sort of like a really big asshole, and the story is just kind of like so like it doesn't really help it. But they announced at the Game Awards a couple years ago Duke Nukem edition where they just overlay Duke Nukem onto the main character. And the funny thing is, they don't change any dialogue. It's just that Duke Nukem, John St. John, just has his own line of dialogue. So, like, I showed off a little bit of it to, like, my brother and my friends because I love this. Like, it turned this, like, really stupid, like, this, like, whatever game into hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
Because, like, everything about Duke Nukem is crass and non-PC and all this stuff. So, like, one of the opening things, it's like they still refer to him as the main character too in the story. So they're like, "Hey, Gray, go do this." And he's like, "My name's not Gray, it's Duke fucking Nukem. Get it right." Like, it's so good. And there's like so many like just like childish jokes because it's Duke Nukem as well. Like, there was one, I was playing it in the car when I played it a couple years ago, and we were driving somewhere, and he was like, he said something like, like in the storyline, someone else called him like a boob or something like that, like, "Get over here, you boob," and then Duke Nukem goes, "Heh, boob." I was like, that was not in the original dialogue, I know that. Oh man, it was so good. But like co-op stuff, Chance and I haven't been playing a lot together recently. Other than, well, we haven't even played Pokemon together. We talked about trading.
Oh, I did all my trade evolutions. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, I need to get a metal coat for my Scyther. Which, by the way, Scyther's really good. I've never used Scyther before. Scyther's really good.
A bug trainer and you've never used Scyther?
No, because it's never been like an easy access one in the ones I've done it with.
Scyther?
Yeah.
Scyther's very good.
Oh, with Swords Dance?
Sword
Yeah.
Dance and X Scissor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I prefer the Scyther to the, was it Skizzer? Is that how you pronounce it? The evolution.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
I was thinking about getting the evolution because I need some type coverage. Like,
That makes sense, yeah, because the steel at least will, I mean, fire will still take you out, but it'll give you a little, it'll be more like your rock crab thing.
yes, yeah. So, but that Scyther, because it's in the underground, I don't remember anything about Diamond and Pearl. Like I was talking to Chance with it. I know I beat this game. I know I had a Torterra when I did it. I remember some of these Pokemon very well. I know nothing about this game, like the underground thing. Like, I don't remember.
I don't remember anything either.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me. Yeah, you get like a little you dig underground where I think you can find like shards or something. I can't remember what those are for. But you make your little hangout place down there.
Yeah.
Where you get like the steel coat too for like to get a Steelix and things like that.
Yeah, you do find good stuff down there. Now I remember why I spent so much time in the underground.
Right,
You
so
get your evolution stones and plates.
I've
for
been trying to
power-up
find a
from all
steel
the-
coat for that reason, yeah. And
Okay.
I
like Pinsir too. Pinsir's another good one.
I don't have Pinsir. That's in Pearl. So that's the Scyther is Diamond and Pinsir's Pearl. So that's the one thing he's going to trade to me, and probably that's it. Like, that's the only thing that I want from him. And I will trade him Diglett, which is what I named Diagala, just to be funny.
Oh.
Yeah, I named my Torterra is named Squirtle.
Yeah.
So a nickname this go around.
Oh man, I named the Scyther I caught Blade because that thing nearly decimated my whole party. Like, I was hanging on by like red health sliver that I finally caught the Scyther. Man, she messed up my party when I caught her. And then now she's the strongest one in the party.
I know Heracross is another good. I'm looking right now at the list of like different bug types.
Yeah, Heracross is hard to get a hold of because you got to do the slathering the
Yeah.
honey, and it's just random. That's how I got my 6th. I got a Combee from it. I named, what did I name him? I might have named him Charles. I just named him like a random like guy's name. Sorry, Charles.
Have you had Vespiquen yet?
No.
Vespiquen is really good.
Okay, Vespiquen.
Really good.
So I have the Combi in my party. Unfortunately, it was male. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be a female.
Yeah.
So I gotta get a female.
Are there new Pokemon in this, or is it just the Pokemon that were in Diamond and Pearl? Besides, like the legendaries and stuff.
I have no idea.
think it's just what was there. I don't think there's new ones. I haven't recognized anything being of an older, a newer generation than what's there.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It just makes me realize how much they still rely on Gen 1, though. Like, there's still so much Gen 1 everywhere in this series.
I used to always have a Parasect and give them all the HM moves I could. So I'd give it Cut, Flash, I forget the other two. But Parasect was always in my team.
Yeah, I don't remember what I ran in the Diamond originally other than Torterra. I have no idea. I probably just ran just a generic type coverage party. And it was done after I beat the Elite Four, like usual.
I meant more like Red. I don't even remember what I had. And I think I took the Empoleon. Is that his name?
Yeah, Water Steel. That one's very difficult for me to get across. And like when Empoleon comes up, I'm like, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that works.
Sasha, what was your starter choice? Because we always did different ones.
Well, I always pick the water starter. The only time I didn't was in Sun and Moon.
I've been picking grass lately. I've been going with the grass Pokemon. I used to always be fire.
I know when I played Diamond and Pearl, I had the Empoleon, but it was Honchkrow for me. Was like my real main. And I had a Pachirisu because Kyle did the Luxray.
I also did the Luxray. I'm having flashbacks of that damn Honchkrow fighting you.
And
Gosh, that was a good Honchkrow.
I do believe that I used my steel coat or metal coat on the Onyx. I did not use it on a Scyther.
When I was little, I tailored my whole like red and blue because we had the link cable. My whole team was tailored to take her team out. So she had the Blastoise. I would take Jolteon. She always had an Alakazam. I would do Poliwrath and Gengar. So whether Poliwrath was out there or the Gengar, even though the Poliwrath has the weakness type, he still had the Hypnosis. And then I would swap out the Gengar real fast. I just like built my whole team just to try to take her down. Not what I liked.
Yeah, I don't think Chance and I ever did that. I think we just did what we liked. I would say that's probably one of the first modern games we co-opted together a lot. As trading and stuff was with Pokemon. Obviously going back to it today, but yeah, he had blue, I had red, I had gold, he had silver. But then we kind of dropped off playing together after that.
We did Diamond and Pearl.
I know we did, but I just don't remember. And I remember I know I've played every single one, but like I just don't remember a lot of the middle generations. They don't feel very memorable to me.
I feel like I didn't play X or Y.
Yeah, I played
X and Y are what brought me back.
Yeah, I think Black is what really got me again back into Pokemon was Black. And then there was Black 2, and then I think it was X and Y, right? Then Sun and Moon. Yeah, and Sun and Moon is where I changed it up and I wasn't a bug trainer. Sun and Moon I played a bird trainer because of Decidueye. So I had like a Skarmory, all sorts of stuff.
I didn't really care for Sun and Moon. I stopped playing after Silver, and then I got back in with Pearl when she bought me the DS, and then I stopped again. But X and Y, once I got that and I saw all the changes, like I was hooked. I literally would just play Pokemon every night. And that's where, those Pokemon that are all left in that Pokebank. They're just in limbo now. But I really like Sword. I've had a good time playing it. Just once, maybe my buddy here, Sasha, she would get a Switch. We could play together.
Hey, we might have a solution there. Because Emery doesn't need two. She's learned. I mean, well, she did destroy one. Yes, that's why we have the pink one. She used to have a gray one. She dropped it in a toilet. But we have a new rule: no switches in the bathroom.
It's a fair rule.
Yeah. Is there anything that you guys have been looking forward to playing together? Like any games that you've been like, hey, I'd like to co-op this kind of deal?
I mean, I think it was Back for Blood, but it all really just comes down to finding the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Our schedules don't mesh Sasha doesn't really game with me a lot anymore. Sometimes her husband will get on and join me and my cousins. I play with them mostly now.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be more, we talk about what games we're playing. Like I know you were playing, what's that, No Man's Sky, is that what it's called? Outer Worlds.
I haven't. Kyle's been playing.
You were playing Outer Worlds for a while, and
that's the one.
That's the one. Yep. So we always talk about it. We just haven't had a chance really lately.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm pretty much just uninterested in joining the party chat with my cousins.
Well, I would obviously leave them to play with you, but
I'm like, if I've got a slice of time that Ripley is not dictating what game I'm going to play, I'm not going to spend it in the party chat with my cousins. I want to be alone.
They just bicker, though. I kind of just mediate it. Yeah, they just like the whole time.
Yeah, I can feel that. We dealt with some real life cousin bickering at Thanksgiving. That was interesting. So a little bit of a family story. I got not scolded, but heavily suggested that I don't call my cousin his usual nickname I call him, because apparently he doesn't like it. Which I know he doesn't, which is why I call him that. But whatever. They were really sensitive. So we were on a family trip years ago. This is after I think it's the summer after I graduated high school. And my younger cousin, he goes by Bub usually. We had a bunch of stuff in my trunk. I was driving, and it was like a convoy of family vehicles. I think there was 3 family vehicles traveling, and I had a lot of the snacks in my trunk, and because I had, I think it's when I had the station wagon, right, Jones? I think that was what we called the chick wagon.
I feel like you had the red Concorde already, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't. I feel like it was right after high school, which
Timeline wise, this is the trip that you got engaged on. That helps your memory.
Okay, and then I would have the Concorde. You're right. Anyways, I had a bunch of snacks in the back, and some were Pop-Tarts. So my cousin Bub was like, hey, Cham, can I get a Pop-Tart? And I was like, oh, you want a Pop-Tart, Pop-Tart? And then he was like, and then everyone's just sort of laughed, and I was like, yeah, it's stuck. You're now Pop-Tart. Yeah, that's your nickname. So, yeah, my I was sitting there, and I was trying. He was the last one to show up. And I was telling my girls, like, okay, so when he gets in the door, say, hey, Pop-Tart, how you doing? And everyone was like, no, don't call him Pop-Tart. He doesn't like it. And I'm like, but I gotta. So I didn't do it.
Yeah, we trained Ripley to call my uncle Chowder. They call him She calls him Chowder. He's like, I don't like it. It sounds like something you call somebody who smells like feet.
Yeah, we're pretty ruthless in my family about the jokes and the trolling, and that's just part of it. You got to have thick skin, or you're not gonna make it.
Yeah,
so
that's how we usually are. We usually have those funny nicknames and stuff, and dog on each other. And for some reason, this year they're all like, "No, we're not doing that this year." And I'm like, "But why? What changed? I don't understand." Well, But yeah, like during Thanksgiving, there was a lot of bickering between the three of them. Like it was just my cousins. Just it was just like, okay, yeah, this feels like Thanksgiving again.
Gang us back together.
Yeah, yeah. So I understand not wanting to join a chat with them, Sasha. It's if it's the same as my cousins, like I wouldn't want to either.
I mean, I've had to admit to them and to the grandma that's house we were at that, yeah, I've unfollowed all of them on Facebook because, wow, it's just a waste of brain space that is to see that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, gosh, one of my cousins got in an argument with my grandmother on Facebook. It was like it was over political stuff because they're very different politically. But it was like, wow, grandma calling you out. Like, so yeah, it was just, so I understand entirely. Hold on a second. Let me handle something. Cece's up again.
Short person invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of experience playing stuff with them when we were younger, because they didn't really have all the systems and stuff. But
yeah,
we did play a little.
Guitar Hero was a big one when that came out. Like I took that super well. Actually any game I played when I was younger, I took like super seriously. But we would all take turns and play Guitar Hero. And one time, I walked into Sasha's room. I don't remember this. This is what she told me, is that I just came in. I was like in my robe. I turned on Guitar Hero. I started playing Mr. Fix-It.
We were already playing Guitar Hero, and he came in, picked Mr. Fix-It, 3-starred it,
and then just left. I don't remember any of that.
Leave on a high note, maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't do a lot of, like, I ended up, the era where that came out, that was more of like me being in college with friends, and I don't think Cham really enjoyed doing those kind of games. But I was kind of thinking back when we talked about the Doom stuff. That was actually before I could really read, so I had to know just enough letters to reboot the computer in DOS to launch Doom.
Yeah, those are different times with DOS. I got to look up this game.
I remember my dad used to write on the back of the discs like what I would have to type into the computer so that I could play the game.
Yeah? Yeah, we had cases and oof. It also makes me think there's a game that we used to play as a fighting game. You picked a pilot and you picked a robot, and the pilot, all it did is change the color, but it was a One Must Fall. It kind of makes me think of a bygone era of gaming of, your controls were like the arrow keys, enter, shift, and something else, and they played WSAD, like ZXC. They're actually 2-player playing on one keyboard at once to do that fighting game.
I remember playing a shoot 'em up with this girl that lived across the street from me. She was like the only person who had a computer at the time, and I can't remember what the game was, but it was like that. I had the arrow keys, she had the WASD, and we got really, really good at this game that was not for children. It was
yeah.
But
yeah. There were some old fighting games that we shared a keyboard that we played.
That's what I said. One Must Fall.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. One Must Fall. Yeah, I love that game. I wish they remade it, but it's dead. Licensed dead. No one owns it. So it's what they call abandonware. So I guess you could pick it up, but like I don't know. I don't know how that would work. So, Apparently, Cece had some bad dreams, so she's out there watching YouTube. That's what you're hearing.
Okay. I was just like, because for me it's downstairs. I was like, I hear things.
Yeah, no, she's watching more Roblox or whatever it is. It's like I can't sit with you tonight, hun. You gotta. I guess you're just gonna watch by yourself because she had a bad dream or something.
Is notorious for just running out of her bedroom at night, and so normally I game. I'll have a chair at the end of the hall. That's where my wife's sitting right now, so that she doesn't come running in here. But just to keep an eye on her, and if I see her like kind of getting up, like, hey, you gotta lay down. But she's getting a cold or something, so she's not feeling too good.
Yeah, that's what Cece's started a runny nose today, so she's not happy about it. We just got over one too, not that long ago. Oh well. So apparently, I didn't know this. Chance, you might like to know this. I was trying to find something for her to watch on YouTube. Apparently, there was a new Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak trailer that dropped while we've been talking. I guess we'll have to check that out afterwards. It's got gameplay and stuff. So apparently, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I need to look at that because that's something that Chance and I are going to play together, obviously. But that's not till summer. That's not, and we have. I have a lot of other things to finish until then. Oh, I was going to ask, did you guys get anything for Black Friday? Considering that was yesterday.
No.
Not for me. No, I downloaded this Disney collection mostly for us to play for Ripley. And then I asked my husband if he wanted anything, and he said he's waiting for Elden Ring and did not to buy him anything. So
okay.
Yeah, my wife did some general like Christmas shopping for her daughter. She got her some different things, but I'm waiting to get Pearl. I'm on a budget, being an adult's fun. But Pearl is that's my next purchase. So I'm going to get Pearl.
So I went into our local game store to specifically buy Guardians of the Galaxy because that was half off. So the new Guardians of the Galaxy. I got that, and then they had a buy two get one free sale, and I was like, let me get a bunch of just derpy games that I just wouldn't have normally bought, but they're super cheap. So I got I can't even tell you their names, but one of them was Dragon Age Inquisition. So I actually have completed the Dragon Age cycle now. I have them all. Even though I haven't started it yet.
Good game of the year with all of the DLC.
I think so. I think it's what they call definitive edition or something like that.
There's in Inquisition, there's a mode that came out long after I had played it. I think already my third run through was done, so I had never done it, but it's kind of like activating the skulls in Halo or turning on extra challenges. So it's an option in Inquisition. You have to go into the options as you create your new game save.
Okay. So I got Guardians of the Galaxy, Dragon Age Inquisition, and then Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is the Castlevania redo. And then I got two extremely generic games that are we're talking if you're looking at the equivalent of a movie, this is B movie that you never heard of kind of deal. And I was just I picked them up because they were $8 or something like that. And I was going to get one of them for free anyway. So I was just sure, why not? So one of them is called Extinction. And I can't even read the title of the other one. But it's some other just generic whatever title. Something of the Ages or something like that. And they're I've never heard of these games. At all. Never even seen them. So I just you know what? let's just find some games that have nothing to do with anything. So I was like, I don't know. I did it recently. I got some B movies that were dinosaur B movies, and they were terrible, absolutely terrible. I didn't
Played Jurassic the Hunted.
Yeah.
It's like a not even a B.
Yeah.
B class, like C class
Yeah,
shooter with dinosaurs.
I think
Fun game. I liked that.
so. Here's the problem. So there was like a that level of like, you ever play Carnivores? It was an old PC game. They actually did a remake recently, of this game, and it is like quintessential like B video game. You play as a hunter in this like futuristic world where this like you're on an island of dinosaurs and stuff, and it's just like you can have different things in the hunt. Like you actually dictate what's there on the island, but like obviously you get more money and points and stuff to upgrade the more dangerous prey you fight. But it is so janky and so bad. But you can hunt anything from like a T-Rex or whatever. But like I used to play this with cheat codes on the PC. The only way you can kill a T-Rex is by shooting it in the eye. And it's got like maximum scent and like maximum aggressiveness. So like you have to be like downwind or upwind or whatever, wherever they can't smell you. You have to be out of sight, and you have to like snipe this thing in the eye from like 100 yards away in order to get a kill, and then hope there isn't another T-Rex around that heard you when you shot.
That was pretty fun, actually.
But like stuff like that, like I was just like, oh man, I actually got that on. There's a Switch version that came out that was the remaster. But yeah, Jurassic the Hunted, I think I played on the 360. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were living at home when we were younger, what is a Game Fly? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sasha and I were achievement hunters back. Well, I don't know if you still are, but we were. So we would just like get easy games and just knock them out really quick, get all the achievements, move to the next game. So I remember playing that, and I beat it in like a singular day. But I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I think I beat it in the night that I played it. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty, and it was a lot of achievements there. Yeah. Yeah, I like achievements. I very much have a effort to value ratio going on sometimes though, where I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, as I've aged, I don't really care anymore. She kind of when she pulled away because we were neck and neck for a while, and then I just
Gave up really early because I blew past him because I had a job and I could buy more games than he could. He was still in school.
I don't think Chauncey's ever been an achievement hunter. Although there's a couple things you've done everything, like Terraria, you did everything.
Well, that was different. Like, we were told to be home and not to leave the house because it was early in COVID, so what was I gonna do?
Fair. I mean, at that point, I was playing Doom Eternal, I think, at first, and then I was playing something else.
The only thing I've really felt like was achievement backbreaking stuff is doing some of the season journey stuff on Diablo 3, of actually doing the like perfect set dungeon runs, or the things that really got me the closest to popping a blood vessel.
Yeah, those suck. Those really suck. It's like you can't get hit. You got to get through in a certain amount of time and kill everything.
Oh, and kill them in special ways too. It's like you can't just kill them. You have to. Every time you do a fire damage, you gain more damage with this set. So you have to kill 15 enemies 7 different times with max bonus.
Yeah.
Which also means you have to reset it on purpose to make the counter start again.
Right, and
they're pretty rough.
Yeah, and they want you to play a specific way that may not be optimal as well. So you're already tuned. Like, this is the set I use already. And it's like, nope, I did it too well. I went too good. So now I killed everything faster than the buff would allow me. And it was just, yeah.
There's only really one that I thought was 10 out of 10 amazing, because there's a barbarian that you end up doing the like shoulder slam rush, and it's the Raycore set.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you end up just as fast as you can do it, slamming into the wall, turning, slamming into the next wall, and you get to do that for like 2.5 minutes. As long as you kill everything, that's all you need to do.
Right. Yeah.
It almost feels like
Furious Charge build.
Yeah, it really feels like some of the Shine Spark stuff in Metroid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say the only thing outside of Sunbreak that Charles and I are probably looking forward to play like immediately without him having a PlayStation 5 is probably Diablo 4. And that's been delayed again. Oh, by the way, did you see there was more news on the Blizzard stuff?
Did not hear about this.
So if you remember, Bobby Kotick, the head of Activision, was sort of like not involved in a lot of the stuff, and the board was like supporting him and the steps forward. Came out Bobby Kotick was not only one of the offenders as well, but also covering up for a lot of executives as offenders. And on top of that, the new, I don't remember her name, but remember there was the co-leader of Blizzard that was a female. She's already left for the exact reasons that all this went down. Not being paid equally to her fellow co-leader in Blizzard, which apparently that guy was very much aware of the situation and trying to tell people like, hey, she needs to be paid as much as I am for this and that kind of thing. And of course they gave her excuses, like, oh, but you came from this part of the company, he has more seniority and like, so like, it's just, it still continues to get worse, and things got delayed as a result, which, yeah, it was inevitable. So Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 are now no longer next year.
It sucks because they continue to make games that just print money. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to feel the effects of their decisions. So, yeah. Like, they're effectively pissing off large populations of people, but it's not hitting them in their wallets. It's not going to change.
Well,
which is unfortunate.
I believe Bobby Kotick is gone now, though. I think he's gone. I'm not sure, but there was stuff about, so there are legal repercussions happening at the very least. Like,
yeah, but they'll essentially be filling the position,
yeah,
and the position will be filled by people who are already existing in that company's culture.
Yeah, it's true. Quite true.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't want to feel bad for buying Diablo 4.
I wouldn't feel bad about it because I think it is one of those situations that, like, I didn't get Diablo 2. Yeah. Didn't make a difference. It doesn't. They're not feeling it.
No. Yeah, and it's just, oh, it's so bad.
I think that if you want to feel better about your choice, just buy Diablo 4 one time. And then, like, wait for a little bit before you buy it on other systems.
Fair. I actually regret getting it on the Switch, the remaster, because I don't play it on the Switch at all now. So, yep. I'm just going to buy one copy, and it's going to be PC, because I know. Although I got a lot more stuff to play on my PS5 recently, it is no longer just a Netflix machine for the moment. Oh, man. I would say this is the biggest disappointment of a system buy I've ever had, is the PS5. It's just up until, I would say, the past 2 months, I didn't have things on it that I wanted to play or liked. that were specifically for it.
I think Spider-Man would be the only thing that would interest me.
Spider-Man
like the
was the one that I did have. Yeah. It was good. It was
Other
really
than
good.
that, yeah.
And I did platinum the PS4 Spider-Man before I got right when I got the PS5. I was doing a bunch of stuff because I got the PS5 like, what was it, like 2 weeks before Monster Hunter Rise came out. So it's like I knew I wasn't going to be playing my PS5 at all for a little while because the Switch game coming out. Switch is still, it's funny because my Switch is my favorite system ever in the history of video games, and my PS5, which was like so much more hyped in some ways, were just like the worst. It's not a terrible system, it just got like hardly anything for it, and then it was so hard to get a hold of on top of that. But I mean, it wasn't easy to get a hold of my Switch too. Like I got a pre-order of a Switch from Best Buy, and it was just about as hard to get the PS5 for a while.
I don't even think my TV would support the upgrade in the graphics. I've got my parents' old TV, so really no incentive to get the new Xbox or the PS5 right now.
I had a TV break right at the beginning of COVID, so I bought a new one. And it's a 4K and all that. And it was like
I don't have a TV anymore.
No, yeah. Our dad took his TV, not because he was in trouble or anything. He's an adult, but like to use for like CAD drawing and stuff downstairs. So he's got like a giant TV for a monitor that he uses to do CAD. So I've been telling Chance, like, just get a TV, and he's like, I don't have a reason to.
Yeah, like you might be able to see there's like a treasure chest that has like other card game stuff, whereas the TV was like, I just don't need it. I might just buy a monitor, like another monitor sized TV, because it could go right here on the desk, and I could like have the other thing is the PlayStation's huge. Like I can't put it anywhere that I have all the other gaming stuff. Like,
oh yeah, like the camera doesn't just like, it's like here's the top and here's like the bottom. Like it's like my torso tall. Like it's huge.
Yeah, like I think I would have to put it, like maybe justify my computer, because I have my tower sitting on my desk, like justify it to the edge a little bit, and then I maybe could put the PlayStation actually beside it. But even then, that may not work.
I got a Switch Lite, like the handheld one, and that's perfect for me because I'll get on the Xbox, get on the chat, and then I've got my Switch, so I can talk to my people and play the Switch. And all I play is Pokemon, so
my setup is actually really cool because I've got all the computer stuff here. I've got 3 monitors now, and like the whole mic setup with the stand and stuff. I actually swivel this out of the way when I'm not using it, so I just like push it away. I actually use it as a hat hanger when I'm not using it. I put my hat on it a lot of the time, and so I got the setup here, and I just literally turn 90 degrees, and I am facing my TV that has my PS5 and Switch attached to it. And I just kick my feet up on the bed here and just play. Like I've got a really, as much as my room is small, I do have a good setup. And recently, actually this week, my room has been really cluttered, especially with stuff that was my parents' stuff when I moved in here. So I got rid of a lot of that. Like I just they're not here. They don't know where to put this stuff, so I'm just putting it in other places in the house. Like there was like an old fan blade, like a metal fan blade in the shelf there, and I was just like, this doesn't need to be in here. I don't even know what this is for. So I moved it to like the garage, and I got all of my games because I was running out of room for my games, and all of my movies in one area now, like in stacks, and it's actually organized. It's got all my figurines and pops and stuff. I might take a picture of that at some point. I didn't really think about it, but like, it's a lot of games just sitting there now, because I used to actually have to have them in like boxes and stuff on the floor because I didn't have room. So I got rid of all that stuff that was on the floor and got it into a shelf, and I'm like, yes. I did a lot of organizing. It took me probably about 6 hours of work this week to get this all done. Like 6 hours of just moving stuff and cleaning, and it was a lot. reorganizing your whole video game collection is a lot of work, apparently.
I have most of the old systems in my basement, and I went through this phase where I would buy, like for example, Maximum Carnage, the Spider-Man game. I got it in the box with the manuals, everything. I've played it twice. Like I have so many old games that I don't even play, so I stopped buying new ones. Well, not new ones, but I stopped buying them. But most of my stuff's down in the basement.
I recently bought Lord of the Rings: The Third Age because I had been talking about it so much for the GameCube, and I was like, I want to play it again. So I have a Wii somewhere here that I can hook up and put it in, and then I know I have the cords and stuff. I just got to get them out. I will eventually play that, but like I said, I just got like 6 PlayStation 5 games, and I haven't even started 2 on top of that. So I got like 8 games on that, and I got a couple PC games I need to play. Like I gotta start Dragon Age Origins. I installed it on my PC, but I gotta start it. Like, so for me, it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna do what I normally do. I'm gonna play a game, finish it, and move on to the next. I'm not gonna play this time, play this time. So I'm going, once I finish Brilliant Diamond, and I'm not, it's Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah.
I always get the names mixed up. I've called it like Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl before. So, but once I get like to that point where I'm done and I'm just trading stuff with Chance, I'm just going to move on and play something else and play something else and just keep going. Because I've given myself a huge backlog, and then I piled onto it with Black Friday.
I just got my cousin bought me as a gift the GTA remastered, so I've been playing those. I've got Pokemon still.
I've heard a lot of bad things. Have you felt it? Yeah.
The San Andreas is garbage. I would honestly rather just play my 360 version of it than that. But the GTA 3 and the Vice City, though.
Okay.
I think if people weren't expecting it to be like an actual remaster, they probably wouldn't be as upset. But it's literally just like some polished graphics. Yeah. And they did change some of the shooting a little bit. But I've been playing GTA 3 and Vice City, but the San Andreas I don't really care for. I've been playing that, and then I always keep a couple sports games too, because I like sports. So, but I've been boycotting Madden, kind of similar to when we were talking about the Activision Blizzard thing.
Yeah,
I haven't bought Madden in like 2-3 years, and I used to get it every single year because of the pay-to-play model, and they basically the game is trash. It's not even what it used to. You could pull up like one from 2014 and it plays better. So I've been boycotting that, which is a big deal to me.
Yeah, no, that's admirable. I mean, honestly, the only sports games I ever played a lot of times were like ones where they do like a twist, like the Mario ones, or NFL Extreme is the big one for me. Because like NFL Extreme, you could do like the dances in the end zone, and like when you tackled them, their shirts would come off sometimes. It was just hilarious to me. So like, sports games can be fun. I just don't. Yeah, I don't follow a lot of sports, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's something that kind of. I've always been a sports gamer too. So my mom made us do a lot of sports. Sasha can tell you about our early morning swim practices and tennis, but football was something I chose to do. So I've always played Madden. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. People from that community, like if you follow like the subreddit and stuff, they've stripped almost all the mechanics and like the features of like the franchise mode. Like they're just stripped out of it because why would they? They make all this money off the online head-to-head play-to-pay where people buy packs and they get different players. So
yeah, that
very frustrating.
It's a good old EA for you. That's why they held the crown of being the jerks in the gaming community until Activision Blizzard really knocked it out of the park this last year. Oh boy.
Yeah, they did.
Jeez. Another one I really like that is related, and I don't know if you would like this. Are you familiar with Blood Bowl?
No, I've never even heard of that.
So it is a Warhammer turn-taking strategy version of football.
I would be interested in that. Yeah.
So it is. There is one now. You'd have to go back to the 360 to get Blood Bowl 2, but Blood Bowl 3 is currently in beta and development.
It says Blood Bowl.
Yeah, Blood Bowl. It's basically football in the Warhammer universe, and there's actually a tabletop version of this as well with the miniatures.
Right there.
Yeah, and Chance has the miniatures. I love this game. Now, I'm not a huge American football fan, but even though we live in Ohio State, so
we're in Michigan, so Metro Detroit.
Yeah, so it's fun though because it is played sort of like football, but it's more like a strategy RPG.
Well, yeah, with the turn base.
Yeah, so
like that.
However, because it's Warhammer and called Blood Bowl, there are fouls and stuff, but they're a lot more lax than actual football. So there are what they call bruiser teams where they're just like, we're literally here to literally kill your whole team. Like this is our goal. Like this is the orc strategy. We will kill you, take the ball, and run it into the end zone. Like, but it's got like percent chance on pass and catch and all that kind of stuff. Like the elves are the passing team. Orcs tend to be runners. Goblins
do illegal things.
Goblins are very big on fouling and illegal turns.
It's like that's a really cool concept if you have illegal players, and basically you can put them on the field like whenever you can put a new unit in play, and as soon as the ref has to check something, they go, "Wait a second." And some of the units are great. There's like one guy is a goblin with a spiked ball that's probably bigger than him, and a chain, and all he does is move. You can't give him any other command. And he has a random chance to move the right direction. So it's usually just like, go forward, go this way, and it automatically resolves like attack rolls and death chances against him just slamming this ball into people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I definitely like that.
Yeah, and it's got kind of like what you're talking about that was in Madden. It's got a league mode where you build up this team, you recruit a team, they gain experience and level up and get abilities throughout the season. And you can actually have a team for multiple seasons and build them up and give them like cheerleaders and give them like management stuff. It's actually from a football management standpoint, actually a pretty solid game as well. And there's actually like whole leagues around it and stuff too. Like you can join a league and like, hey, my team, go for this league and that kind of stuff. We actually tried to do one in the local community here in this Discord about a year ago. It didn't really take off though. Not a lot of people really got interested, but Chance and I played a couple times.
No, that sounds cool. I like that because I like sometimes even with Madden, I just will simulate. I won't even play the games. It's more the management of it.
Yeah, the management is definitely there. I don't know if you can simulate the games in this one. I think you do have to play them, but also part of there's a lot of decision making in the playing as well. Like, because you can choose to have like a unit can move like, I don't know, like it's like 6 spaces, but you can always choose to push it an extra 2 spaces. And each time you push it, you roll a 6-sided die, and if it's 1, they slip and fall, and they could potentially die if their like roll is bad enough, so they go for like an injury chance or like a it's crazy. It's just like what I liked about NFL Extreme and just like dial it up to 12. Like it's just insane. And it's like all sorts of goofy. Now it doesn't work like, there are downs and stuff. I think you actually do have to get across a line of am I wrong about that, Chance? No.
You're wrong.
Okay.
I think there might be downs, but I don't think they do anything like a line of scrimmage or whatever. Like, your basic understanding of like how big of a football field is, the field for this ends up being like quarter that size, maybe.
Yeah, it's smaller, but I mean, you do also have stuff like a treant is like one of the units for the elves. This is a giant tree. One of my favorite strategies, actually, when I was playing the orcs, is you can have a troll and the goblins are your runners, like the smaller ones. So you can have the troll pick up the goblin with the ball, throw the goblin with the ball,
Throw him,
and he lands, and then he still has movement. So you can do a turn one. You can do a 1-turn touchdown where you have a goblin catch the ball, run it forward, and throw it to the goblin beside the troll. The troll. Now it's all luck, right? Like there's chance of failure on every single action.
yeah.
And especially for the troll, because the troll has a role. Anytime you try to activate the troll, or like the big units like that, he has this ability called stupid. And if he rolls, everything's a d6. And it's something like if he rolls,
It's like a 1 or a 2, I think.
it's so it's like a third chance for him just to not act. He'll just go duh, and just stand there. And then so pick him up, throw him, hope he lands correctly and doesn't drop the ball on the opponent's side, which then your opponent can just pick up the ball and run forward with it.
Yeah.
And then you can run in, and I've actually done a 1-turn touchdown with that strategy, and I was like, yes.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of fun. Anyways, so we're coming up on 2 hours here. Is there any other games you guys wanted to talk about tonight?
Oh, I mean, I think like I'll do an honorable mention to Snowboard Kids. This one, yep. So this was one of the first games I can remember getting super, super, super competitive about. Because again, no adults in my life or our life let us win anything, and my Uncle Lester used to relentlessly beat us at this game.
Yeah,
And then mock us as small
and
children.
mock us for it too.
yeah.
And so I remember I was in elementary school the first time that I beat him at this, and I remember hoarding. There are these little coins. One of the power ups you can get are a coin that when you drop them, it'll flatten everybody in the team or everybody else, and then you can keep going. So I remember getting one of these really early on, and then holding on to it. Catching up until I was in first place, and then dropping the coins down on everybody and finishing the race. And then like I don't think I've ever boasted so much as I did this day. I'm like jumped up on the couch and I'm like shouting like, yes, I'm the champion. I'm never gonna play this game with you ever again. I'm the winner. And I was. Charles is going to argue about this, but I've always been the best at this out of everybody. And Charles and
I take you right now, but she's not wrong about back then.
But I'm just a couple minutes away. Come on over.
One time, related to this game, her boyfriend, now husband at the time, we skipped school. She went to school, or maybe she went to work. I think it was work.
At work, remember. You guys. I was at work.
We spent the whole day. We restarted it, and we got through, and we were beating it. And we got stuck on. You unlock bonus levels after you beat like the 5 main ones, and it's the sand level where you're snowboarding on sand, and we're just trying and failing and failing. She gets home from work, first try, takes a crack at it, beats the level. It was so frustrating.
Oh man. That's rough.
I have that game though, and I actually Lester like a year ago. This was right before COVID, I think. He came over and he brought his like girlfriend's kids and stuff, but I crushed him, no mercy at that. And then I did the same thing. I'm like, yeah, we're done. We don't have to play this anymore.
Oh jeez. Go out on top, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't anything that's competitive as far as like fighting games or anything. Chauncey usually wins. It's just a fact of life for me at this point. Like, we talked about the Smash Brothers thing. I think the only reason why I can edge him out in the newest Smash Brothers is because I actually play it and he doesn't occasionally. Like, that's the only reason. If he actually took the time to sit down and play it, I'd be. It'd take like a week and I'm out. He's just got me. I don't know of any game that we've been like competitive against each other that I just don't lose. Like, we used to play with a group of friends on Crusader Kings Legends or Crusaders Legends. There's nothing I can do to him to win. There is like absolutely nothing. He picks the Knights of the Round Table, and I'm just done. He's just like, hey, all your walls that you just spent a whole game building, gone. Bye. You're dead. And I'm like, so I've eventually just started making troll builds to have fun until he decides to kill me. So, I'll get like bats that like suicide bomb and kill a bunch of things. So I'll just continuously suicide bat his base, just continuously, and I won't even focus on the other two people in the match because I know I'm gonna die anyways. Oh man.
Okay, but I didn't actually put the work into that to figure out exactly you start with 3 lumber mills and then life is easy.
Hey, I tried really hard to learn that strategy. That was Empire. That wasn't Crusader Legends.
That's Crusader Kings. It was.
Are you sure?
3 lumber mills.
Okay. If you're talking about the thing we played recently, it's not the same game.
It's not.
Okay. I suck at those games anyways. I just turtle.
Sasha and I are like good at different types of games, but we're both like got to be like the best at the game. So usually if there's a game where one's better than the other, we don't play it together. So that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I try to play things that Chance enjoys, and he tries to play things that I enjoy at times. Like, he's not a big shooter fan. He's not really good at shooters. So we don't really play those against each other hardly at all, but we will play them together. Like, we used to play Call of Duty quite when I was at my house when he used to come visit. And he'd get, like, a riot shield, and he would stand there and kill people and have fun with it. And I'd be playing, you know, my level of seriously, which sometimes included a riot shield.
Yeah, that was Halo for us. I'd just get a jetpack and fuck with people while Charles and Kyle played seriously.
Yeah.
I used to take Reach very seriously. And I at the time I had a little 18-inch 1080p screen, so I would just sit this close to it. And it was like almost like a little... But, yeah, I loved Reach. It's really fun.
Reach was my favorite. Have you... So, Sasha said you played some of Infinite.
I've downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. Kyle was playing it today, though.
I played a little bit with Kyle the one night. The first thing I had to do was I've noticed with newer shooters compared to like when I played is how easily you move.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to like turn it all the way down to 2. Like I want my gun to move very slowly. I've had fun with it. I am terrible at Halo now. I am not as good as I used to be.
Yeah, I felt the same. I had the same troubles. I'm like, I know my old strategies no longer work.
Yeah, after a couple matches, I was starting to get to like just above like 0 kill death ratio. But like the first 3 matches I played, I think I had 1 kill, and all my cousins were also doing terrible. And we were like, this isn't fun. But then we tried it again another day, and we did a lot better. And that's when Kyle got on and played with us. So, because every once in a while, her husband will join me and my cousins. So,
yeah, I like it.
I've heard.
I just don't. I don't want to play it by myself. Is the caveat.
I'm not going to spend any money on it. It's the same thing with these new games with the pay to play model. I saw something on Reddit where it was like 2 cosmetics, 2 different ones, 2 sets, I guess, and literally looked the same. And one you got to buy, one you get for free. And then someone had told out that like to get all the current cosmetics, it would cost over $1,000, and that's just the cosmetics they have out right now.
No, that's just no. It used to be achievement based too in Halo.
Exactly, yeah. Like what you did in the game is what unlocked things for you, and that's kind of probably how we were all raised.
That's why the Hayabusa armor was so infamous.
Yeah, you had to earn that.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing as I've matured and gotten older and become a dad, and like, I just play for fun now. I used to want to be hyper competitive, and like, I'd rather just, even like Dead by Daylight's probably the only thing that I took kind of seriously, but that's a team game. It was our team doing well, not me as a, and even then I don't have all the achievements. I don't care. So,
I mean, I always give it my best effort, but I've never taken anything like 100% seriously. Aside from, Sasha, I've told about this before, when I was like 8th in the world at Transformers War for Cybertron for like that week.
Oh, wow.
Like that I took way too seriously, and then I realized I was taking it too seriously and I quit. So I was like, yeah, no, I don't need to get mad because I didn't get X amount of kills per match. Like, I just don't, like, I can't live this life. I've got a job.
Good.
Like,
I've got a funny story about Red Dead Redemption 1.
Okay.
It's not related to family, but I would take it seriously like that. Like, I wanted to be, because they had leaderboards then. I wanted to be in the top 1,000 for the hardcore, where you have to free aim your gun. But there was this clan. This was a couple years ago, but I don't know if you remember who Ron Paul is. Ron Paul ran for president, I think. Did not win. But there was this clan of people, and it'd be like, Ron Paul Army, Ron Paul Forever, Ron Paul Nation, Ron Paul for President. Like, that was all their gamer tags and stuff. And I'd be like, just minding my business, and all of a sudden 4 Ron Pauls they knew me. Like, they would roll up on me, and we had beef on site. It would be like individual deathmatch. They make you all like point your gun, you choose one person. There'd be like 4 Ron Pauls all pointing their guns at me. And it was just me versus the Ron Paul Nation, I guess. So I'd have to get like her husband and stuff on them. Like, them damn Ron Paul people are back again. But they were in the top of the leaderboard too, and I had strict nat type, so I was always playing against these Ron Paul people.
Oh, jeez. Huh.
I usually won too. I usually got them. I was pretty good at it.
That the only thing I've ever had like that, and Chance can attest to this, is when we used to play the original Star Wars Battlefronts, you'd get these people called ... that were always team killers. And
oh wow,
we were like, oh no, it's ... oh no. So you'd have to, like, in order to win, you'd have to like outdo your guy that's killing your own team. That, like, and they would
just
like
griefing you.
Yeah, and they would just like steal the X-Wings and the Y-Wings and all that kind of stuff and just like bomb your own side. And it's just like, why are you like this? And they were all always named ... Like, it was just because you didn't have a user. It's just what you named yourself that day. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my gosh, why is this a thing? Why is this? Oh man. That's the only thing I've ever had like that. That's insane.
I still, to this day, it cracks me up now. It used to piss me off then, but
sure, yeah, I could understand that. Yeah, like, oh, there's that guy again. You. You don't get that a lot in like these worldwide games sometimes, but every once in a while, I recognize that username. I've actually, where I come across that a lot is in Reddit. There's like some people that I've recognized from back in the old day in Reddit and stuff that I deal with, and I'm like, I'll see them on Twitter sometimes, and it's like, wait a minute, why do I not like this person? Oh, it's you. Like,
you said that one thing on the internet.
No, it's not. Well, I used to be a moderator for r/Monster Hunter, so like there was things where I was like, I would get like drug out and like, how could a moderator blah blah blah, like I'd have to like defend the whole moderation team because like for 6 years I was the primary moderator, and I was like, I wasn't like the head one. I was the only one doing anything for like 6 years.
Yeah,
and then like I recognize someone and I'll be like, no, what is like, and then I'd recognize like, why does this jerk look familiar? Oh no. It's that guy. He was telling people how to use bows. all the time, like just telling people how to play the game, and he's still doing it on Twitter, and that's why I hate him.
He's just doing it on Twitter.
Like, jeez. But yeah, I haven't had that in a game because I don't play a lot online anymore with randos. I got out of that.
Either.
I really got
Stick
out
to
of
my
that.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't even battle in Pokemon unless it's with Chance every once in a while.
I don't anymore either. Yeah.
And then Chance just decimates me with the rock type, and we're good. Like, it's just the way it happens.
I have Golem ready now.
Yep. I'm done. I'm done for. So, Blade doesn't have a chance. Which is what I name my Scyther. She's just gone. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming on tonight, Charles and Sasha, as always, and Chance. Thanks for filling in. I think next week we're going to try to do this game show I talked about. We'll have Ace back, obviously, but we'll try to get someone else to come in and play, and I'll try to make the games that we talk about a little more generic for people to guess. So if you guys are listening, still listening now, like I'm looking forward to doing this game. I've been wanting to do this a while, but holidays and people having to cancel and whatnot. I didn't want to do it. No, I think we had a good idea for today, doing the family podcast. Thank you so much for coming on, Charles, and filling in.
Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. Glad I got to relate some of me and Sasha's experiences and get to learn more about you guys and things you guys play together. So thank you for having me.
Yeah. And Chance, thanks for filling in as always. He's usually my goalie for the kids. No safety net today, which is why we saw Cethi twice. And yeah, as always, Sasha, thanks. So we'll see everyone next week. I don't think anyone but me has a Twitter handle to worry about, unless you want to promote something, Charles, or no?
I've got no plugs. I'm a dad. I'm in grad school, so
yeah,
this was
fair.
a first-time podcasting experience.
So, but if you guys would like to keep up to date what we do with the podcast, it's at HunterTubPod on Twitter, and then at HunterTubPod here on Twitch as well. And then, next week we'll have some more people on, and we might talk about some Monster Hunter stuff, depending on the trailer that popped today that I'm going to watch here soon, assuming Cece's fallen asleep out there. I don't know if she has or not, but anyways, thank you guys for listening, and have a good night.
Bye.